Hi, everyone. Welcome to Journeys with Jojo. My name is Jordan Johnson. I'm a psychic medium. Welcome to my show. To kickstart this, I have a very special guest to kind of help me introduce myself and this new podcast. So I have a very dear friend here, Miss Shelya, the Duchess of Decor, residential decor visionary. Okay, so I got with her and hi, Shelya.
Hey, Jordan. Jojo, how you doing? Thank you so much for inviting me on. It's a pleasure and congratulations to you. I can't think of a better person for something like this to happen to. And I know it's going to be a success.
Thank you. I so appreciate that. I'm very excited. And Spirit told me to have you on the show here. So I feel there's a divine purpose for it. And when I reach out to you, you had this amazing divine insight on a topic for us to talk about. Yes. What's a visionary? And I love that. And there's so much importance to being a visionary. And I think we should start by what is a visionary?
Well, first of all, there's visionaries in all fields of life, in all occupations. And what that is I consider myself a visionary as well. It's a very highly motivated individual who directs their energy into that one cause that means the world to them. Okay. So they give a lot of dedication to that, and there's like 5 qualities to a visionary that you understand. Once you see these qualities, that's who they are. And that would start with 1, belief in vision. You have to have that powerful vision of the future. This is where I'm going. This is what I want to do. Do a lot more than just dream. Okay. True visionary is making your actions match your words. Okay.
Yeah.
And then third, and of course I'm cheating here because I can't memorize all this, but 3, willingness to try new ideas. That is so important. Trying new ideas. Excitement about testing new ideas, as they know that it is part of the process of learning and improving, because you have to improve with each thing. Not everything is going to be all perfect, wrapped up in a box. Here you go. Number 4, something that I truly, truly believe in, which is a lot like my personality, infectious enthusiasm.
Yes.
Happy and excited when discussing the vision. Okay. That says a lot because it's all positivity. It gets you motivated, And number 5, persistence is real. They do not give up. It lives for a higher purpose, must be dedicated. And those are the 5 principles, I think, that makes it a person a visionary, because you don't give up. You're like, this is what I want. And sometimes people do this in the middle of a career change, in the middle of their life, after they think they have everything they want and they need. And all of a sudden they're like, I'm not happy. This isn't me. This isn't what I want. And I'm a true believer in spirit of, you should do what makes you happy. We were all put here on this earth for a purpose.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's what I believe a visionary is.
I love that. And I see you as a visionary. We met by fate, and I feel like it was at a time that was where I was kind of meeting a lot of people in my soul tribe. And I'm so thankful that I followed my intuition that day and met you. And, with you being a visionary and with me being where I'm at now, I feel like there's this time aspect that comes into being a visionary. You have this, either your psychic abilities are kicking in to where you have precognition and see the future, or there's some sort of insight that comes through to help you to see the future or of this vision for yourself.
Well, you know what, Jojo, let me interrupt for a second. Everybody is looking for an answer. We all are.
Yeah.
On a daily basis, to motivate yourself to be better every day. What is the answer? And I think that's where you come in as a divine guidance for people. We all want it. We all need it. We search it everywhere. We're constantly testing ourselves. Is this the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Does this make me happy?
Absolutely. Yes. And I think it's like you kind of touched on this, like trusting the process and trusting yourself too. And so I think that once you're given this type of vision, maybe early on in your life, and I want to ask you about your visions, and you see this at a time early in the life, and then you have this walk and there's time involved. And then all of a sudden it starts to play out, kind of like law of attraction. And I feel that you have this purpose to why you're on earth, and you see it maybe at a young age, and it actually happens, it's in alignment. And so when I'm sitting here with you, I see myself in the future as a visionary, and it's something that I want to continue to pursue, to be a visionary, to be someone. My vision for myself is to be philanthropic and to have a huge ministry. And so I feel very inspired where I'm at now in my life, and looking at someone like you who has an amazing career over your lifetime. Did you know that you would be a model one day? Like,
well, you know what? I stayed focused and imagined myself doing that. I mean, at the time, I didn't grow up and say, "Oh, I want to be a model." It just kind of happened. Through friends, through when I went to New York, I went to FIT, and it just came about. It's one of those things in New York that just happened, and I went with it, and it became a career. It was one of those things where I'll just try this for a little bit. I was discovered by Mademoiselle magazine, and I didn't think it was going to be a career choice, because I actually went to school to become a buyer, a fashion buyer, merchandiser. That's what I wanted to do, which is still doable. I mean, I'm doing something similar to that now.
right.
And so I think even if you can't vision what you are or what you want to be, something may come about, something may come along, and you realize, you know what, I like this.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I'm having fun with this, and go with it. And always have something else going on as well, just in case. I mean, I highly recommend to all young people out there, get your education if you can, do that. Become an entrepreneur, become a self-employed, that's a true person that believes in themselves when you become self-employed.
Absolutely. And I think of me in my, early years, I never saw myself as a medium, and with my religion, it was deemed evil. So it was something that was kind of always off limits to me until like my mid-20s, when I realized, hey, I've got these abilities that I need to get some help with and to work with every day, and really, be responsible kind of for my own energy. When I was younger, I always wanted to be like a doctor or, I studied biology, and here I am being sought after as a medical intuitive. And so one of the visions that I saw for myself, I want to say around maybe high school, I could see this vision of myself being interviewed. And I would hone into that because it brought me a lot of confidence and hope for the future. And I said, wait a minute, maybe I have some kind of outreach or some kind of, philanthropy that I'm going to be on stage talking about one day. And I feel like after this recent interview that I had last week, it's all starting to play out now. And I feel like I'm kind of walking what I had saw many years ago. It's not necessarily the plan that I had for myself, but I really fell into something that's in total alignment with myself. So, I'm happy that I was led, and I think it's really important that people connect with themselves, because I feel there is where that ultimate, guidance and healing tool is. It's all within you. So, was there a point that you ever saw like any kind of symbols or actual visions being brought to you?
Absolutely. As a child, I was always fascinated by beautiful homes, okay, and interiors and beauty and the color of the walls. So I had that kind of was giving me an indication that that's where I was going, somewhere in that field, because I absolutely enjoyed decorating. I look forward to the holidays to decorate, for the holidays. So I saw that vision of me working in this sort of field in furniture, which that's what I'm in now, decor. As a model, as a child, I was always looking at all the fashion magazines. So somehow fashion and design kind of meshed together, because it is very similar in many ways. And my mom always loved dressing me and my sisters and I up in cute outfits and all. So we were always, like prancing around. and everyone's like, oh, look at all these. Are they twins? And quart? No. We're just a year apart. Yeah, calm down. So it's just so she would all, do things like that. And she enjoyed it and loved it. And, so I was basically introduced to fashion at a young age because my mom loved it. And she was a buyer, she said that's kind of was all in the family sort of thing. And then as far as, like I said, decorating and design, it's just something that I just, I tell people, watch your children. When you see what they like or what toys they're looking at. Like I had Barbie dolls, I had one in each hand, and I was always dressing them up in outfits. Then I started making clothes for them because back then, I can tell you how old I am, but back in the day, in rock age, no, they didn't have Barbie doll clothes. So, they just had the outfit she had in the package. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to come up with something to make some Barbie dolls. So I used to take old socks and things and put holes in them for the arms and come up with, then make a belt for her and do all these things like this with Barbie dolls. So maybe that all kind of, and my Barbie doll also had a Barbie house. And I loved her Barbie house and a Barbie car. So it just, I think it just kind of evolved into this, which I absolutely love with passion. I love what I do. I love decor. I love making people happy, watching their expressions on their faces when they walk into a room that was kind of drab or boring or whatever, and just go, wow. Or I never thought of doing this, or I never thought of painting my walls this color, or I never thought of putting a chair over there. That is just, what it does to me, because it's like I really made a difference in their life. I turned their space into something wonderful that they'll love. One thing I do believe in the place that you live in is it's your haven. It's your refuge. It's where you go to relax and enjoy and calm down and decompress. And now go ahead.
But do you know anything about feng shui? Because for me,
no, I don't.
Okay, so for me, I always likes to rearrange my furniture actually pretty often. I feel some sort of like cleansing energy when I do it. I rearranged my bedroom because I intuitively knew that there was a change coming, and just the movement of the furniture in the room, I felt that energy was more positive than the furniture was before. And so when you said that, I totally can see you just bringing all of your positive energy, into someone's home and helping them to feel like your home is your castle.
It's a new environment. It's a new environment. Just like they change their hairdo, people change their shoes or whatever, and every now and then I call it your home, it starts to look stale. It's like, I've had those walls for 30 years and whatever, it's time to change it. And I love that. I love doing that. That makes me
a whole new vibe. It really
does. It does. And I know the feng shui thing is a real thing, but most of my clients, they don't understand what that is. They want to know, what do I do in that little corner over there? Or what artwork do I put on this wall? Or can you work with all these family photos that we have? We can't see, we don't want to get rid of this. So then I come in and trying to work with what they have that they absolutely love. I'm not one of these, decorators that go, oh, get rid of this, get rid of that, because that's very sensitive. Someone may have some kind of, sentimental value to this person. So I try to work with what they have, tell me what they want to get rid of. If I'm working with a clean slate, even better.
Right. That's awesome. And when you were talking about you creating Barbie doll outfits, it just instantly brought back a memory of me. I always had entrepreneur spirit when I was a child. I'd always want to, have my own thing. I had my doctor desk here with my stethoscope and my little plaque that said Dr. Jordan Johnson. And I had a cat register over here. So I wanted to own a bank. But specifically when you were creating your Barbie doll outfits, I created like a little purse line that I created maybe in middle school or high school. And I came up with business And it just reminds me of now bringing my headscarf collection kind of to the forefront. It's like when you're a child, like you had said, we really are, we're honing into these true versions of ourselves slowly but surely.
Absolutely.
And if you really evaluate your childhood and look at the things you love from childhood, it can help you. If you feel lost and confused right now, look at what were you into? Because I was definitely into that, to the whole medical. And I had never heard of a medical intuitive until I really started to train in my abilities. But it absolutely, you know, I'm not a doctor, I can't prescribe or diagnose, but I feel it absolutely is some sort of, you know, energy healing practitioner that helps people heal. So
we need it so bad.
We do. And the ability, I think I'm just completely fascinated with like remote viewing and doing body scans on people is just amazing. And it can help so many people that are struggling with, you know, diseases that they can't get to the bottom of, or, you know, when medicine isn't working, you know, you can actually look within the body to see any imbalance. And so with my clients now, as I'm a Reiki practitioner and getting into the medical intuitive, you know, the things that I see with the body, it's all energetic a lot of the time. Sometimes I do see like disease and actual masses and, you know,
wow, that's incredible.
There's a lot of things that come up. It's really interesting, fascinating, and surprising to me, some of the things that come up. I've been able to see like old strains, and it's fibroids, scar tissue.
I have a question. What about like, because this is happening quite frequently lately, mental illness.
Yeah.
Can you can help in some way in that field? I mean, I know that a lot of people are struggling right now because of everything that's going on, and their lives have changed because of COVID and everything like this. But I didn't realize it's such a big deal now. So many people are suffering from that.
Yes.
Even if it's subtly or where they have to take medication.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally believe that what you're saying, because healing yourself and also through meditation and relaxation, having a place in your home where you can just relax and unwind and breathe, and all, it makes a difference.
Yeah, I mean, you have to stay grounded. I mean, staying grounded is really important to, I feel like, your mental stability. And when it comes to mental illness, I feel like I know this, you know, very closely because I struggled with mental illness for a good decade. Of, you know, very depressed and very anxious. So I had severe anxiety. And this was what I had to discover and be led to was, you know, there were, you know, some biological things that needed to be addressed. And there were, you know, emotional things that needed to be addressed too. But there was also a lot of energy work that needed to be done. And so for what I'm seeing with, you know, from myself and my own experience and my own healing journey, is that, you know, what healed me with my mental illness, I would say it's listening to my intuition. And it started with my faith.
Oh, wow.
You know? So I can remember being at a church in McKinney, Texas, and praying a very serious prayer to God and saying, you know, I'm struggling. I'm unhappy. I'm unfulfilled. I make great money, but this isn't it. You know, there's something more for me. And I'm feeling all of this anxiety in my stomach. You know, no one ever told me that that's like the brain gut connection, and it's your that you have to block that and cleanse it. And so I was very open, and I've been in sales since 2014, and I try to take on high volume, you know, opportunities. So I get in front of a lot of people. I've been getting in front of a lot of people all day long, and this is an energy exchange. So I was just overwhelmed with energy.
Oh, that's true. That is very true.
So I had to pray to get to the truth and ask God and say, please lead me to the truth, because I feel there's something more. And intuitively, then I knew that this was spiritual. I knew, I was telling my family, I said, something's going on with me. It's spiritual. And so I eventually was able to start seeing dark attachments. This is before I started training.
Wow.
Yes. And even, you know, time is such a factor for healing journeys. That's one of the biggest messages I could put out there to people is if you're struggling, give it time, you know, and it could and will get better, you know, definitely there's hope, but you have to have this time factor. So for me, with time, I realized I myself have a dark attachment. I've got dark energy
Oh,
in me. And as a channel, I was at the time with this dark energy channeling out, my communication was kind of dark and nasty. And a lot of people around me felt that. And I had to really get in control of that. And I had to learn that no one is going to come through and save you. You have to do the work for yourself to get better.
That's so true.
And even though I reached out to several different, types of practitioners, whether it be a doctor or a hypnotherapist that I saw or a counselor, it was me that took that step and was, I listened to my intuition to be led to the right help. And so, my message to people is that it starts really with you listening to yourself and what your body is saying to you. And even if there were maybe people around me that couldn't see what I could see or feel what I could feel, and to know and to believe where I was coming from, you have to, if you feel it's true, you have to follow that and trust it.
That's very true.
Put your faith in. And that's really the message I bring here. So for me with mental illness and a lot of my clients that I'm seeing is dark energy. I wish, it could be easily cured with a pill. And I tried medication when I was struggling, and it got to a point where I felt I needed more, or that, I needed to do something different big time in order for me to feel this healing, because I knew it was spiritual. And so, there was a series of events that, came along on my healing journey, but a big aha moment for me was when I started to talk to my guides. I remember getting an audiobook, and I would go running and listen to this audiobook on spirit guides.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Spirit guides, is that the same as some people would consider their angels?
There's angels and there's spirit guides. Okay. So, we all have angels, and they come through for healing. And that's where, when I do healing, I channel that light from them. But your deceased loved ones are deceased loved ones. And then you've got your guides, which I believe are part of your higher mind and kind of that connection to a higher power. But my guides had actually led me into realizing that there was potentially somewhat of a small vitamin insufficiency within myself. And I was led to a supplement. And that day that I took the supplement, my brain fog started to go away. And I was told to lay my hands on myself in prayer. So I started to lay my hands on myself, and just slowly but surely, I became aware that I was carrying dark energy. And so I wasn't trained at the time. This was just all intuitive. I prayed cleansing prayer to remove dark energy from my body, and it let off. It really did. So when you feel hopeless in this mental illness, know that you probably are feeling this change on earth. I started to feel in around age 6, around 2000. I remember I was 6 years old, and I could see that we were coming into different times on earth. I could see that the earth was changing on a monumental level. I can't really explain it, but I could just see that there's some big change happening. And so my point is, these times that we're in are dark, and I think people could. And I remember, like, 2 months before the pandemic started, when I was working at a furniture store with you.
2
months before the pandemic, I was looking at everybody, and I noticed there was a lot of dark energy around people, almost everyone that walked through the door. And so I said, something on a global level is about to take place, because I'm feeling everyone around is feeling this change. And so we're all connected. We all feel these changes coming on, but it's like unexplained. We're not really taught the truth about our bodies, I believe. And that's what I've learned. So trust yourself, trust your intuition, be led. And absolutely, if you're struggling with any mental illness and the medicine's not working, and you feel that you are a spirit, and you feel that you need energy work, please come see me. You can book a reading with me at jojoempathic.com. I want to put something out. The less I know about you, the more authentic it is. And I think a lot of times people they're very ready for the healing. So they come very anxious, and I've been there before. I truly have but you really have to kind of let go of that anxiety and let the guidance flow and trust and be led. And so, yeah, I would love to help anybody that is struggling in this way. Please contact me. Book the appointment. I'll call you up and we'll just get right into it. And there's always time for questions. And yeah, I offer a variety of readings, whether it's, channeling deceased loved ones, which is super healing, which changes people's lives for the better. I can do, I offer something called Jojo's #1 healing session, which looks at your life contract, your past lives, we do a medical intuitive reading, and we channel some messages from deceased loved ones. So it's like the ultimate healing package. I have in there, reiki is included. So I'm here to help with energy healing. Again, I'm not a doctor. I can't prescribe or diagnose. And this, but I am here to help channel light and channel hope and healing. So if anyone watching is interested, please contact me through jojoempathic.com. Now, Miss Duchess of Decor, how are people going to contact you?
They can contact me through duchessofdecor.com.
Okay.
Also, I am with the Raymore Flanagan outlet in Blaisdell, New York. But just go right on my website. My contact information is there. And what I like to say on what you're saying about healing, I like to decorate healing environments for people. So they have a little spot, a little area in their home where they can unwind and feel free, take their mind off of stress and things like that,
Since I've been hanging out with you, my furniture has been looking great. My style has improved. You definitely have this vibe and energy and a wealth of knowledge in interior design, and you're such an artist. So if anyone is interested in into our visions, yes, contact us. We're here to help, and we're really coming from a place. We're trying to come from a place of being of service. So thank you so much.
One more thing, my tagline, I always believe, home is your castle.
Home is your castle.
Home is your castle. And I can transform your space into a better place, one room at a time.
I love that. I love that. And stay tuned for Journeys with Jojo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I learned a lot today.
That's awesome. I love you. We'll see you.
Bye-bye.